It started with a headline that shook the nation: four-star General Amelia Cross in critical condition. The woman known for leading rescue missions across continents, the one who had saved thousands, now lay helpless on a hospital bed. 22 of the country's top doctors surrounded her, yet none could figure out what was killing her. Each test came back normal, every scan inconclusive. And with every passing hour, her heartbeat grew weaker. But the real story doesn't begin in that sterile hospital room. It begins in the janitor's closet just 3 doors down, where Michael Carter, a single dad who had lost everything except his little daughter Lily, was mopping the floors and humming a lullaby his late wife used to sing. No one noticed him, no one ever did. He was the man who cleaned up after miracles and tragedies, quiet, invisible, yet always watching. Michael had taken the night shift because it paid a few dollars extra, enough to buy Lily a new backpack for school. He'd often pause by General Cross's room, glancing through the glass with a soft sigh. He admired her, strong, fearless, but now so fragile it broke his heart. Nurses whispered she had only hours left. He wasn't a doctor, just a janitor, but something about the monitors, the smell, and the way her skin looked, it all felt wrong. That night, around 2 a.m., the power flickered. Alarms beeped wildly. The doctors rushed in. Michael, pushing his mop bucket aside, watched as they tried everything: CPR, injections, defibrillator shocks. "She's slipping," one doctor shouted. Another cursed under his breath, "It's like her body's shutting down on its own." And then Michael saw it, the IV line. Something about the tube didn't sit right with him. It wasn't the usual transparent fluid, it looked slightly cloudy under the fluorescent light. His mind flashed back to a few nights earlier, when he'd overheard a technician complaining about mislabeled medication shipments. He hesitated, who would believe a janitor? But as the monitor flatlined, something in him refused to stay silent. He stepped forward. "Wait," he said, his voice trembling. The room froze. 22 doctors turned toward him, eyes full of irritation. "Please, check the IV bag. That's not normal saline." One of the doctors scoffed. "Sir, this is a sterile environment. Just check it." Michael insisted, his voice cracking with desperation. "Please. I think it's the wrong solution." The senior physician frowned but nodded to a nurse. Moments later, the nurse gasped, the bag was mislabeled. It wasn't saline. It was a strong sedative, meant only for minor procedures, not continuous drip. It had been slowly shutting down the general's system. Within minutes, they switched the line. Her color began to return. The flatline turned into a faint, steady beep. Murmurs filled the room as the impossible happened. The general's heartbeat came back. Everyone stood stunned, but Michael just stood quietly, hands shaking, trying to believe what he'd just seen. When the chaos settled, a doctor approached him. "How did you know?" Michael swallowed hard. "My wife, she died from a hospital mix-up like that. I learned to notice the little things." The doctor's eyes softened. "You just saved a life tonight, Mr. Carter." Days passed. The story spread through the hospital, the janitor who saved the general. But Michael didn't care for attention. He just wanted to get home to Lily and tell her that doing the right thing, even when no one listens, always matters. Then one morning, as he finished his shift, a convoy of black SUVs pulled up outside. Soldiers lined the hallways. The hospital director looked confused, until a tall, strong woman in uniform walked in. General Amelia Cross, alive, radiant, walking on her own. Everyone stood to attention. Michael froze as her eyes found him. She walked straight toward him, tears glistening. "You," she said softly, her voice filled with emotion, "saved my life." He stammered, "Ma'am, I just saw something the others didn't." She smiled. "That's what makes heroes, Mr. Carter. The ones who notice what others miss." She asked about Lily, and when she learned he was raising his daughter alone, she made a promise. A week later, Michael received a letter from the Department of Defense. A full scholarship for Lily, sponsored personally by General Cross. Along with it, an offer. A position as a medical safety consultant for the military hospital. For the first time in years, Michael cried. Not out of grief, but gratitude. Months later, at an award ceremony, General Cross stood before a packed hall and said, "In a world full of experts, sometimes it takes an ordinary person with an extraordinary heart to see what others overlook." As the applause thundered, the camera panned to Michael and Lily in the crowd, holding hands and smiling.